like board games, miniatures, and the smell of paint and glue, you are in the right place. Welcome to Boardgasm. What's up? Come on in. Oh boy, lots of tech problems tonight. All right, let's see. Oh yeah. Boardgasm, episode 12. Wow. I can't believe it. Let's get this rolling. Come on in, people. Let me know if you can hear. Let me know if you can see. And we're going to have a great show if this works. There's a lot of tech problems I was having today, so bear with me. Woo! Come on in, folks. We're live. This is Boardgasm 12. For everybody new, please say hi. Say who you are. Where you're from, if I know you or not. We got a crazy full show tonight. Normally on this show, it's evening hour live, and it's philosophy mixed with who knows what. Tonight, it's all one thing. It's right here, Dungeon Degenerates. That's it. If you're a Dungeon Degenerates fan, you're going to love this. If you are just a fan of board games and miniature painting, you're going to love this. Yeah, we're going to talk. So every time you hear a bloom, it means my hand cam is not working. So there's my hand cam right now. I'm going to have to be doing this a lot tonight because I'm having such terrible problems. Nothing. See, there we go. Now it's working. See how it keeps freezing? Folks, tonight's show has serious problems. I unfortunately had a whole hand. I mean, dude, you see the amount of effort I put into this. Oh my gosh, this is going to drive me absolutely crazy, but we're going to fix this somehow. I don't know what to do. Not much to do. Not much to do. Maybe it'll stop doing it. Who knows? Let's get moving. I don't want to goof around here tonight. Normally, I just say, hey, subscribe to my channel. It's very hard to get subscriptions. If you're new, say hi. If you know about the game, please comment. Neon Lords, what's up? We got a game designer in here. Neon Lords of the Toxic Wasteland. The new game is out. Cool. So let's talk, folks. Dungeon Degenerates, my intro to this game. My God, this is going to drive me nuts that I can't do what I want to do here all the time. I'll do it as much as I can. I'll switch out the miniatures and then start and restop the camera. So please bear with me. I've been doing this internet show now for a while, and I literally come this close to sledgehammering everything. I like painting miniatures and playing role-playing games with pencils. I hate computers. I really do. If we went back to the caveman generation, I'm totally cool with it. I can hunt, fish, all that. I'm ready to roll. So you're a massive fan of Dungeon D? New Brunswick, Aaron, what's up, people? Ryan, we got a lot of new people in here. And we got a lot of my regulars, so. Two elusive characters, which one? You mean the Angel of Death and the infamous Butcher? They're that hard to get? I think I have the metal versions and I have the resin versions. It's crazy. I think I have all the minis now for Dungeon D. I have them all painted except for 3. Soon I'll have the whole thing painted. All right, what's up, Fallon? Today, terrible technical issues. None of my bots are working. My hand camera's going in and out. So I did Dungeon Break. Oh, okay. Yeah, Dungeon Breakout is great. Let's see. Yep, the hand cam is frozen. So I'm going to try to do it again. I'm just curious how long it takes to, if it'll stay. It might stay. Who knows? It's been really random. It just kind of randomly turns off and on. I went through a million things today to stop it. Oh, see, it just did it. All right, let's get back to that later. So what is Dungeon Degenerates, folks? Okay. I discovered it on Kickstarter in, what year? 2016. I knew nothing about it. All I saw was some of the artwork. I saw here's the board. This is what the board looks like. I'm just going to open it and hold it up. This is the game board. I saw this. I saw the colors. I saw the... It's hard to see because it's gloss. Right? And I said, I like the art. I was familiar with Pork Magazine, Sean Auberg, the artist. If you're watching, Sean, cheers. You created a monster of a game with a lot of fans. Ah, Montreal, come on in. So I discovered the game there. I bid on it. I did the Kickstarter. Now, I expected the game not to be very good. I'm going to be quite honest. I watched a little bit of a playthrough. It seemed complicated. It seemed sort of interesting, but I didn't buy it for the game. I wanted it for the art. I was like, there's no game with art like this. I liked it. The game came out. I set it up at home alone, marveling at the beautiful artwork. I didn't have any metal miniatures yet. It does not come with those. It comes with cardboard, which I'll show you. I played the game. I set it up alone. Now, here's the thing. You can play it solo, which we're going to talk about. And I went through a turn. It seemed incredibly, fiddly and hard to do. It was like, okay, do this. After I went through a few turns, I took another turn, and then another, and another. And within about one evening, I realized I had stumbled on one of the greatest board games I had ever seen. And yes, it was a little fiddly, but yes, the options were unlimited, which I'm going to talk about tonight, which there's not many, quote, open world board games I can remember enjoying this much. So that's how I came across this game. Now, fast forward. You can't buy the game in a store. You have to order it from Gobblinko. Gobblinko is the company. And it's in its fourth printing, first edition. It's still the same edition, fourth printing. So he did it, sold out, did it. Now, I think the new ones might be sold out. Yeah, online, it might be expensive right now. So, Sean, you're watching. I think you're going to be able to keep making this game until all eternity. I think there is a market for this game forever now. It's because of the art, and it is a high-quality, functioning board game, which we'll talk about, with a replayability that's obscene. I mean, I played the game nonstop for about 2.5 years, and then I took a break, and I'm getting ready to start it again, which is why I'm doing this. The creators of the game. So we've got I'll read the rule book. Oh, God, where did I put the damn rule book now? I have so many things here. Oh, here we go. So according to the rule book, Sean Auberg is the artistic director, clearly. Now I can't find my damn glasses. Yeah, Sean Auberg is the director. He's the art direction and illustration, it says him. He spearheaded this, obviously. The game design and graphic design is Eric Rady. I've never met him. I think I've chatted with him online. And Katie Auberg is the production. She did the production. Yeah, it's hard to get right now. I think we'll be able to get this up and... I think I'll help people find copies if they need it. It's crazy. I have one backup copy I bought when it came on 2nd or 3rd edition. Just because I was like, look, if I spill beer on this or whatever, I'd like to have a backup. So, my experience playing this game, I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to get into the way it works and the modes of play and stuff for anybody interested. And for anybody that plays the game or is just starting, I'm going to give you some pointers that'll make it a better experience. I really will. I did a lot of thinking. I don't really have too many house rules, but I'll talk about them in a second. The new cards are awesome, Voodoo 256-57. Now, here's what I want to do. We have a big group in here right now. I'm going to be giving away tonight a Dungeon Deep badge And this is courtesy. Oh gosh, come on, focus, focus, focus. There we go. Why is now this camera's not working? Oh my God, can you believe this? Why is this not working now? I can't win. This is a very expensive camera. There it is. So that's going to go away tonight. I'm going to be giving this away and this patch. And these are from Sean Auberg and Goblinko themselves. I had a couple things left over from some swag that he had sent me. I was giving it away at the convention, and there's an extra. Here it is. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to have everybody who wants to get in on winning this right now, you are going to type in the chat, if you'd like to qualify for entry, the number sign, and then 44. If you put the number sign and 44, I will put your name down, and you will be in the drawing. And not only that, I'm not going to be adding names later. This is it. So whoever's in here right now, you're in for the drawing. So go for it. Hit number and 44. And I'm going to try to do this as fast as possible. And not only that, thank you, Voodoo. They sell these. They're Neon. All right, here we go. Neon Lords. You're number one. Wow. Oh, my God. All right, you know what we're going to do? Wow, this is... You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to leave this in here in the chat and then scroll back up. Oh my God, it won't let me scroll now? I am not kidding you. Oh, here we go. Cool. It does let me scroll. So everybody, write it in there, right down the line. And what I'm going to do is end up rolling a dice and going down the line twice. And then we will pick who it is. And that's going to be at the end of the show, so you got to stick around to the end of the show. All right, so we'll let that fly. Here we go, folks. I set up the game. I played the game alone for about, I don't know, 4 or 5 months. I can't remember. But I didn't want anybody else to join the game. I didn't want anybody to mess up what I had created. I started creating a world. So, I'm going to talk about the modes of play first so that you understand how this game works. And I'm going to use... So, this is why this game is brilliant. Yes, you can play solo. Yes, you can play... I love that it's not doing that beepy sound now. Let's deactivate this and try it again. So these little miniatures here don't come with the game. They come separate and they're brilliant. I spent a lot of time working on these. They're so whimsical and weird and delightful that I could talk about just the miniatures for hours. It seems like it's not doing it right now, so maybe we're in luck. So, here's how you can play the game. You can do it in campaign mode, or you can do it in one-off game mode, meaning you set it up, you pick a scenario, and you play it. Totally doable, totally fun. But the real game is the campaign mode, and that's what we're going to be talking about mostly tonight. Oh, wow, I love how many people are in here tonight. So, here's why this is a genius game. It's a legacy game, meaning after every time you play it, the world stays altered forever. And the game goes on and on and on until the world ends. The world is the Wurstreich. That's the name of the land. Brutalberg is the capital city. And then there are regions in the game. And so, in the game, the campaign mode, you get a mission. And, oh, see, the camera shut off. And then you follow the mission. And as the mission's going on and you're trying to accomplish the things that you need to do, it could be you're going to make a delivery of a relic. Or you're hired to assassinate somebody. Or you're going to try to establish one of the towns as your town. You're going to take it over and make it your base. So, whatever you're doing in the mission, right? You're on the mission. You also have another thing going on above that, and that's the campaign mode. You don't get to do that in the one-off games, and we're going to talk about that. So the game is called Dungeon Degenerates because you're literally starting the game getting out of jail. So here's an example of a character card, and let's see if I can show you on the hand cam, which I don't think I can. Nope, I can't. It doesn't work. So let's do this. We're going to make this work, folks. Okay, here is one of the characters that's hard to get. Uh-oh, now the hand cam ain't working at all. Wow. Okay, we have no hand cam now. Folks, I'm very sorry when this happens. This is literally one of the worst things. Yeah, very sorry. Well, here we go. And this camera's not even working. I might cancel the show tonight and do it next week. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I literally, this camera never does this until today. If you've been watching my show for 2 years, this never happened. Like, it usually... Yeah, look at this. It's like I'm not even touching anything, and it's not... It won't focus. Why is that? This is really bad. I'm very sorry. I actually might cancel this show, folks. You might see me have a meltdown and do this next week. No, the camera doesn't work. This is a very, very expensive camera with a very high autofocus feature, and it is not working. Now, it could be a power issue. Yeah, this is why I am a live performer. I have thousands of live shows under my belt, and I was telling somebody, imagine walking out on stage, and while you're on stage, you're constantly worried about things falling, the lights shutting off while you're talking. That's what this is like for me. Well, I know you can see me, but it doesn't help because here it is. Now it's working. See, there it is. Now, why won't this focus? Oh, there. This is lame. I'm very sorry. Anyway, each character says how they got out of jail and what their crimes were. I don't know if I can do this show. Just hold off on this chat about whatever for now. What does that mean? If you need to, just hold off. No, that's not the problem. The problem is I have things to show you and I can't show anything. Like even this. I guess I can do that. Yeah, that's one of the minis. All right. Let's see if you can see this. Yeah, dude, it's really weird. It's not focusing well. These are the cards. All right, we're going to figure this out. So you're getting out of jail. You kill the jailer, and now you're free, and you get to do whatever you want. Well, the jailer might give you a mission, and if you decide to follow the mission, you do the mission. While the mission's going on, there's a mechanic happening across the board. Yes, it does look a little like Sean. And here's what it is. If you've ever played the game Pandemic, every town on the board, I'll do a little close-up, has a number. See those numbers? See, there's like a green number. There's a red number. So those numbers represent how dangerous or normal like a town would be. And if it's green, it's a town that you can visit and shop and do things. If it's red, it's dangerous. There's probably monsters or some sort of something there. As the game's going on, there's an engine. There's a deck that constantly is making random parts of the board go up, the danger level. And so as you're doing your mission, that's also going on. And the overlying goal of the game is the reason why it's called Hand of Doom, is this evil necromancer of sorts, or the Hand of Doom, is trying to destroy the world, and it eventually lands on the board and moves around. And it is a giant hand, and it represents chaos showing up to that area in the form of the necromancer's presence. As that's going on, you're trying to do your mission. Now, you can leave the mission or not, or you can go to a town and make it a little safer. You can go to a town with people in it, shop, and invest in the town and make it a little safer. It's up to you. It's an open world. It's a sandbox. You can literally go anywhere you want on the board. This is why it's fun. So you can play solo campaign mode. You can also play in a group of 4 people, campaign or one-off. But the reason why this is a fantastic board game for any game nerd out there, raise your hand if you have trouble sometimes finding regular people to play, right? Well, in this game, you can have your friend create a character and jump in whenever they want. You can be like, all right, you're in that town, and when you leave and go home, your character's still in that town. And so when you come back again, you're there. And we can meet up and continue on, or you can do a different path. And so, oh, the Hand of Doom. Yeah, you can dispel. Have you ever dispelled the Hand of Doom? It's kind of fun. So, no, it really is an off-the-charts game. Now, the warning is it's not easy. It takes a second. The rule book, it has a lot in it. The way the game works mechanically, let's try again if I can get my hand cam to work. Nope, it is not working. I think it's funny when it just doesn't even kick on. Like, it kicks on, and then it does not kick on. It's like, bye. Why? Why would it do that now? And I don't know. Makes no sense. So, this is really harsh. I kind of want to do another version of this show so I can show you what I created all this stuff. You can also make your own missions up too, which is crazy. So here's the other side to this game. And we're going to talk about the mechanics of play. But before I do, I want to talk about being a fluff gamer. Hey, what's up, Ruth? If you just made it, you'll see me having meltdowns because of the internet, the camera's not working. Oh, who's raising hands? Oh, you're raising hands. Oh, I see. Yeah. All right. Yeah, if you're the type of gamer that doesn't find regular players, not only can you play this alone, you can have people jump in and out. The thing I really want to talk about is I am a fluff gamer, which means I like the background story. I like the extra crap. I like if it's a subject I don't care for, like agriculture, I don't want to play. But if it's zombies, I'm in. You see, I'm a fluff gamer. I like the fluff. So for this game, it's fantasy, but it's not regular fantasy. It's Sean Auberg fantasy, and I like Sean Auberg's fantasy world that he's created. It's kind of like a mix of Dungeons and Dragons-ish, and I say ish, but it's definitely more Renaissance Warhammer fantasy from the mid-'80s. You know, you'll see a Germanic flair. You'll see black powder weapons. It's still primitive. The magic is... There's no elves. There are dwarves. There are lizard humans. And there's fishoid creatures. My favorite fishoid creature is the Fishy Confectioner, which I'll show you. This is the Fishy Confectioner. Let's focus. See, I don't understand why the focus agent is partial. Like, I really don't. I can't tell if it's has to do with the power. Like, it doesn't make any sense of why it sometimes works and does. It's worked every day for 2 years until just now. Oh, there it is. Did it just kick in? Yeah, there it is. So there's the Fishoid Confectioner. This is a character you can play. It's a fish human that makes head cheese or Scroglin cheese. That's one of the races in the game, is Fishoid. Of course, there's humans. It's also, the magic in it is kind of traditional. You know, there's the levitate spells and attack spells. So, the fluff is that. Now, here's why the game is brilliant. If you look at the world map that you're going to play this game in, if you look, it's color coordinated. There is, down here, this is the inhabited lands and the capital city of Brutalberg. Over here's the swamplands, also known, That's the wetlands. This is the highlands. This is really weird stuff, kind of like a Mad Max kind of zone. And then over here, you've got the Badlands, and that's where the Goblin Kingdoms are, and the Hell Pits and very chaos waste at the north. And in the middle, right here, there's the Witchwood. That's part of the kind of inhabited area, but it's a forest. And then there's a lake down here. The Scroglin King is in this island, in that tower. And so the fluff of this game is fantastic. It's definitely dark. It's definitely seedy. There's drugs in the game. There's everything from mushrooms to, I think there's 3 kinds of, quote, weeds. Let's see. Like, here's witchweed. Again, I don't know. Again, this is not going to focus, but... Dude, this is really frustrating that I can't show you anything. It's kind of sad. I'm sorry. Let me see. Let me try one more time, and then I'm literally not going to ever try this again. Properties. Deactivate. Activate. No. Oh, there, it worked. Holy crap. Oh my god. Did it work? Yes, it worked. There's witchweed. There's the fan. This is what the weapons look like. This is the loot deck. Right? Here's a sacrificial dagger. These are the cards. So in the game, there's definitely like a drug theme, which if you have kids, you might not like that. I could care less. It's a game. There's also scratch, which is kind of like heroin in the game. There's also void powder. There's all sorts of illicit drug use and drug sales and all sorts of stuff worked into the game. And it can be part of the plot or not. It's things that you'll find. And so how this game creates a narrative that's very memorable without any flavor text is this. It's the monsters and their powers. It's the event cards and the combinations of all of the above. If you mix them all together, it starts to come up with a narrative without you opening a book and it telling you too much. It might just say the Scroglin King is hiring you to do something for him. And then that's it. And then you'll meet all these people along the way, randomly. Things happen in the game where you'll be like, that'll never happen again. That is such a rare thing to happen, it'll never happen again. And that's kind of cool. Now, let's keep moving here. Because, dude, there's a lot to go through on this. So, let's talk about how the game actually works for the dice. Now, the dice in this game, it uses, let's go to hand cam, which froze again. Let's see if I can get it to work. And let me show you the dice. You see these dice? I'm going to move this and do this. So here's the dice for the game. When you are rolling for combat, you are rolling 2 green, 2 red, and most likely a purple dice. And most of the time, like, let's look at this guy here. This guy here, that's the infamous butcher. Let's say he's using a weapon that uses his strength. See, his strength is an 8, and his agility is an 8. So, the reason why this is brilliant is first you gotta pick what this purple dice is gonna do. So let's say he wants it to go to his offense, right? It'll go over to here, to the attack dice, right? So then what you do is you roll all of these dice. And these 2 green have to go below your agility, and that means you defended yourself from the monster. The red ones mean if you get below your strength, you hit the monster, and then this gets applied to whichever side you need it for, but you have to decide first. So let's say you're going to fight a vampire thrall. That guy right there has 5 wounds. See the little heart? And he attacks 3. And if I miss him, he's going to do 3 wounds to me. He has no armor, and he attacks the person with the lowest constitution, which who cares about that right now? So watch. My agility, what's the infamous? His agility's 8 and his strength is an 8. So look, boom. If I roll that, well, this got below, and this went over. So that means I defended myself from 5 wounds from that guy, and I did no wounds to him because I rolled too high for my attack dice. You see that? One roll, and the whole thing's resolved. Bada bing, bada boom. Now, it probably seemed a little complex for somebody who doesn't game, but that's it. Oh, I got that butcher the day he came out. I remember. Ah, yes. Phasing Player just said something cool. Restraint in flavor text. Yeah. I can't stand it too for if they tell you too much. And okay, this game has discoveries. You'll discover things in this game that I don't want to spoil. The artist Sean will allude to things in pop culture in the most subtle manner that most people would never notice. But I'm like, oh my gosh, it's there. And so through these monsters and characters and things, there's discovery, which is why this game is fun. And that's the, oh yeah, thank you. These dice trays are Boardgasm dice trays. So that is definitely one of the reasons why the game is really fun. Now, all right, so let's go through a turn. When you're doing a turn in this game, let's say you're playing me alone, and I'm running 2 characters. Okay? And the first thing you do is pick a map stance. Here, I'll show you on the cheat cards. It says it's map action phase, danger phase, and then the last part is the encounter phase. So in the map action phase, this is where you're going to either stay put and heal up or move around. And you can either go bold or cautious. And depending on which you pick, it enables you to do certain things. Especially how you travel, if you're going to travel by the river, a force march, which is fast traveling, if you're going to hunt monsters, right? Once you determine that, at the end, you draw one of these cards. Now, let's see if the hand cam is functioning. Yes, it is. This little stupid card is the entire engine of the game. There are no duplicates and monsters in this game, correct? Every monster is unique, and there are so many, and they're all fascinating. So here's what happens. When I draw that card, every turn, you're drawing one of these cards. The sunken village goes up a number. So you look on the map, you find where the sunken village is, and oh yeah, there's so many characters in this game I don't want to spoil that are in here. And so the sunken village will go up in its rating. It'll get more dangerous there. Then, wherever you are, you compare that number. So let's say I'm in a spot that's a 2, which means it's not that dangerous. A red 2 is not dangerous. So the card is higher than that, which means I don't have to deal with any monsters. But let's say I'm in a space that's a 4, and I drew a card that's a 3. Well, that activates the card. And if you look at that card, on the bottom left, there's a little red symbol, which means definitely you are going to get some sort of encounter card. And then it tells you how many monsters you're fighting according to how many players are in the game. So I have 2 players in the game. It means I'm fighting 3 monsters. Now, here's where it gets fun. The way the monsters are designed, some of them trigger more monsters showing up at the beginning of their turn. Some of them trigger them at the end of their turn. So if you get a boss type or a lawman, somebody who's with the law, they might have henchmen show up. And you don't know. So you can bite off more than you can chew pretty quick in this game, and you might have to run away. Warhammer, if you don't know what you're doing, is slow. If you know what you're doing, it's fast. Yeah, that's the secret. You have to have those rules ready to roll. If it can be slow. This game is not slow, and if you leave it set up permanently, like I did for almost 3 years, you can take a turn at lunch. You can be like, yeah, take a turn at lunch. 20 minutes, move on. Take a 2-hour turn. Take a 1 hour. You just do as many turns as you want. Well, Sean just asked if the Angel of Death was taken from the infamous Butcher. I think you're going to find this funny because look, there's the Angel of Death and oh no, that's the wrong one. Where's infamous Butcher? He's here. Oh yeah, here. Here's the Angel of Death. That's her. Oh gosh, come on. And infamous Butcher is the other character, and he definitely took those from the song that we all know. For sure. There's also there's lots of Motorhead references that are very subtle in this game. I mean really, it's a joy to play. If you come from the era that I come from, and Sean Auberg too. You know what's funny? Sean, if you're watching, I always thought this was cool. I like that you identify as a zine artist primarily. I remember you saying, I don't know if you told me that or I read you said that in an interview. If you say what kind of artist is he, I don't think he says game designer or comic book artist, or he's a zine artist. And the zine scene is definitely my generation. That late 80s, early 90s, mid 90s, the zine thing was popular. And look, all of the lore books for the game come in these very kind of homemade looking printed. Oh God, this camera. Let's go over here. Look at this. These are old school style. They're printed out. These are lore books that have the background stories if you want to look up what some of the little histories of some of the characters in the game. And they also have missions. So these little booklets that he sells separate have extra missions in them, which are fantastic. If anybody has questions, fire away. The character looks like Tom Araya. Yeah, maybe. I have I have everything this game sold ever, I think. I don't think there's one thing I'm missing now. I have the second. Okay, here, I'll put this out. So the miniatures are Thunderchild miniatures, sculpted by JC Faircloud, and I think JC, I think she's in the UK. This was their first monster mini, the guy on the pedestal, the Brute Lord, and I didn't have him. I missed him for some reason. Here's his card. Look at his card. That's him. 12 wounds. Yikers. He's got Fear, Rally, and Berserk. Yikers. He'll mess you up. So that's him. That's the Brute Lord. Here's the Rat Queen. She's cool. Look at her. These are the boss monsters that show up once in a while. There's epic monsters. Look at this epic monster. The Slime Lord. I'm telling you, the aesthetic of this game is JC Faircloud in the house. So we have the miniature sculptor in the house. JC, your miniatures rule. They really are off the charts. Now, JC had a hard job. The art in which JC was basing it on looks like this. It's just the front, you know? It's like the front picture of a character. So then JC not only had to get close to some sort of vibe that Sean Auberg was creating. Look, here's the character now. But she had to come up with the back too. And the backs of these things are just as fantastic as the fronts. So JC, you win my favorite miniature sculptor ever award. I mean, really. That's Lord Scrot with his clay pot shoes. Oh, thank you, JC. That means a lot. I spent a lot of time on these. Oh, how about the fugitive fop with his raccoon pet? In the game, it says the noble they like raccoons as status symbols. This is Beasley Bunsen. Beasley I ran in a game for many years. You get to name these characters. They have stock names. This is the Sex Dwarf. This is a new one. Fantastic character. Look at those butt cheeks. And he's wearing cherry red Doc Martens if you look close. How about this guy here? It's a mold beast. Look at that guy. Now this has got all his body parts if you look close. And an extremely awesome backside with mushrooms and a moldy butt. JC Fairclouds is an amazing miniature sculptor. I can't say enough. The Fishy Confectioner is one of the next characters I'm going to run. And if you, I mean, dude, I don't even know where. I've had more fun painting these miniatures than I have had painting any miniatures I have ever painted my whole life. I have thousands of miniatures. I have so many, it's shocking. I have 9 Warhammer armies. That's how I got good at painting. I just painted every day, and I still do. JC sculpts her own stuff, but I can't imagine teaming up with another great artist and collaborating. You know, you got two really, really artistically fun brains. I mean, the choices made are bold and would never happen if we were making these games under, you know, a corporate world. This game is so far from anything corporate, it's unbelievable. I want to point out the king, the overlord of the civilized land, is a jester. I don't want to spoil too much. And I wish I could tell you some of the secrets that I've discovered in the game. Somebody put Sexecutioner. Well, some of these characters look Gwar influenced, especially Brute Lord. The Brute Lord looks like a Warhammer character. I mean, a Masters of the Universe character mixed with Gwar. Yeah, that's kind of one of the aesthetics. I'm giving you just a little bit of these minis, man. There's a lot. I have a lot more I'm not even bringing out here. Let's put this one here. And, oh, how about this one? So these two are the next two I'm going to run in the game. That's the Wastelander. And, what the heck is his name? I always forget his technical name. He's basically, oh, he's the, what the heck do you call him? I can't remember. He's kind of like a drug dealer. Now, here's my other one I really like, this miniature. This is the Hermit Aesthetic. And he's smoking, and look, they nailed the smoke coming out of his mouth. And look at the back of this miniature. Look at those glorious dreadlocks. I mean, I can't even begin. I'm telling you, I can't even begin. Now, I've been just freaking out over the aesthetics of this game. The thing that I really admire are the aesthetics are tied to the mechanics, too. They really are. It has the feel of it. Now, if anybody's starting to play this game for the first time, I want to go through... no, I really am passionate about this game. If you're like me and you're just... I've been looking my whole life for, you know, the greatest board games I could find. And it's funny that this one here spoke to me so loudly. After getting to know Sean a bit more and his background of his art and his vision, I see why I'm attuned to this game. We come from a similar world of what we grew up with. And that would be, you know, the end of the 80s. It was the heavy metal and the punk rock stuff was starting to smash together. The thrash scene was rolling. Oh, AD&D 2nd edition? Yeah, all right. That's good too. And we came from this era of the game nerd, the heavy metal guy, all rolled into a ball, and now you're an artist. And so this is what you get. The thing that's crazy is that this is a role-playing game in a box format without a dungeon master. No dungeon master needed. The game mechanic does it for you. Now, one of the things in the game people didn't like is you put these little chips. I'm going to put this here now so you can see. Okay, this is the Fugitive Fop. And the Fugitive Fop is... Oh, God, that ring light's horrible. Come on, ring light. There we go. Fugitive Fop. You see those little numbers on the bottom, 1, 2, 3, with the little Lucky Charm symbols? You have a little tiny chip that you move around that represents 5 different things, and you share the same track. Some people didn't like that, which I think is silly. You also have, their class, their skills they come with, and their numbers. And those circles at the bottom are for chips that tell you if they're poisoned or sick or something. So there are a lot of little chips and chits and things that go on the table that are fiddly. They're fiddly. And if you sneeze, you're like, oh no, I sneezed. So I'm going to go over, if you're new to this game, if you're thinking about getting it, I think on eBay it's going for $300 now. Listen, if you told me there was a game that was $300 that was this good, I wouldn't even think. Kingdom Death was $450. Is it worth it? Yeah, it's a work of art. This is a better game, and it's way cheaper, so. All right, so here's what I came up with of the tips to play this game. First of all, you need the box game. This is the expansion Mean Streets. If you're going to get that, this just adds more. It doesn't make it too much more complicated. It gives it another layer of detail that I think is important, but it's not needed. But again, if you're going to get this game, just get everything and mix it all together. In the game, there's some things that you got to remember. And no matter what mission you're on, who you're playing with, you got to remember these things. 1, make sure you have luck. Luck in the game is spent on rerolls or, I like this, 3D printable. Oh boy, I love it. This is somebody's making 3D. All right, we're gonna get into that stuff. What the fans have been making stuff. So you want to make sure you have luck because here's the big reason why, not for re-rolling. If the Hand of Doom makes its appearance on the board, and how that happens, if there's ever a town that has the rating of a 6, and you draw a card, and it's that town, it doesn't go to a 7, the hand shows up. At that very moment that the hand shows up, each person playing, let's say there's 3 people playing, that means for 3 luck, you can make that hand go back. Now, those 3 luck don't have to come from all the players. It could be one player spends 3 luck. Whatever it is, it stops the hand. Now, why is that important? At the top of the board, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces. If you fill those up with the hand, every time the hand makes an appearance, this is what happens. When that's full, you can dump all your pieces and clear your sheets. The world's over. I was able to keep the world rolling for about 2.5 years. That's how long I kept mine running. So, luck. Every player has a different, unique way of creating luck. Some of them do it easy. Some don't do it very well. It's hard for them. So when you're choosing your characters, you have to be mindful of who has luck and who doesn't and who's going to have a hard time. Because whoever has a hard time, the other players have to overcompensate. You see how they have to work together? The other thing that you got to do is if you're in a town, you have to invest in those towns. Because if you don't, they go from a town to a dump, and you can't hang out there and go shopping anymore. So how do you invest? You spend gold. Oh, 3D printed cards. Wow. I can't even imagine. I have some ideas with some magnetic-y stuff, and we'll talk about in a second. The other thing in the game is whenever you're going to fight a really nasty bad guy, like a boss or an epic monster, as they're called in the game, if you're going to go try to fight the Hand of Doom itself, here's the thing. If you get hurt in an area that will not allow you to heal, you're dead. There are areas that are perilous. It means there's bubbling acid coming out of the ground. You can't stop and heal here. There's a lot of areas like that, especially up north. So you have to be mindful of that. You have to prepare ahead. You have to be like, look, if we're going to go up there and fight that thing, we need some healing potions or something, because this is not good. Okay. To leave it set up or not. If you'd like to play this game seriously, you should definitely leave it set up. If you have the room to leave the board set up, do it. I did for 2.5 years. I had it actually set up. If you can see, where's my pointer? Where the heck did I point my pointer? But over here, on the other side of here, that is a Dungeon Degenerate rolling tray I made that's this big, with slots for the cards to go in. I had the board set up permanently for 1.5 years. Or 2.5 years. And I think there was 1, 2, 3, 4. There were about 5 different people that played the game with me. So, yeah. Oh, the box doesn't hold all of my stuff anymore. No way. Now, here's another thing that you need to do when you buy... If you're a game nerd, you already know about this. Board Game Geek. It is a website that has a page for every game. And the page for this game is awesome because people post things all the time on rules and play aids that you can download. In there's a Dungeon Degenerate map that Eric Rady, the game designer, made that makes reading this map a little easier. I don't mind that this is hard to read this map. That's part of the fun, is learning how to read the map. I like things that are hard to do. If you know me, I mean, I make a living doing magic tricks, and some of the ones I do in my shows took me years to master. I like that. And this game, to me, will weed out the wrong types of players. This takes only the serious. Now, it's not that serious, so don't get me wrong. Oh, wow. You use that sticky poster stuff. Interesting. I like that. So we got some real players in here. Some real Dungeon Degenerates. Keep your eye on the numbers. Oh, yeah. You have to watch those numbers in the game. Never, ever, ever take your eyes off those numbers. Because as soon as they get high, you better go deal with it. If you don't, it's going to bite you. Now, here's the way I like to play the game. I don't like reading the cards unless I draw them. So when I got new loot cards, I don't look at them. I kind of just shuffle them into the loot deck, and one day I will discover that whatever it is. I also, the monsters, I'll look at them passively, but I don't like to read them too detailed. The new monsters that are added in. And that's what they do. He'll create some monsters, and you just add them in. You don't need anything else. It just adds more to the game. Ooh, what's that? Oh, dude, Arrogant Media. If you like the fluff and a good game, this is it. I've read some reviews of this game that were literally like, here's the bad reviews of the game. Okay, you ready? And I'm gonna give them to you. If the creators are in here, you'll know. One is it's fiddly and it's there's too many little doodads and fiddles. Well, those people don't know what they're doing. The second thing people don't like is the art. What do I say? If you don't like the art, you don't like the art. Next. If someone doesn't like this art, they can't be my friend, is what I say. I mean, this kind of art is in my blood. And not only that, it doesn't remind me of anything. It's unique. It's got a little bit of, that old school RPG Warhammer flair. But it's Sean Auberg. Now, I didn't realize this, but Eric Rady also did some of the art in this book. I forget which drawings he did, but he's an artist too. These people are artists. I mean, really, I can't even... look at this. Look at this. When you open the rule book, this is the first panel. Look at that. It's some sort of priest with his lectern thing. I don't know what the heck. It's great. Now, we've got, 5 years of this game in existence? Thousands of players. And I'm curious if there'll ever be a second edition. I think he's mentioned it before. I know he mentioned at some point somewhere that he made. There are other ideas for where that map can go. But if it ever gets a second pressing, the only thing I would want to see different from my end would be if there's a way to change these numbers on the board so that you're not constantly moving. And when you put the game away, you can fold the board up and just put it away. Now, how would that be? I thought maybe dry erase, where you write on the board the numbers. Oh, yeah, it's very simplistic and perfect. I swear. And the map, it looks a little... Some of those are roads, some are paths. This is the Badlands area. Yeah. Now, somebody recently made these. They're little dials that have the town name. You're not going to be able to see this. And you can turn them and change the number. Now, this works. This could work. I made a few, but they're so little. Like, I guess I could stick these on with sticky somehow, that goopy stick. But I don't know. That seems a little finicky too. So, that's one thing. That would make it better. The other one is I would love to see all of these source books in a one big hardback book. And if you're watching, Sean, I think most people in here would pay for that. I would pay for a hardback book of the lore and maybe a rule book in there, like something that's like the Bible of all Dungeon D. I would pay for that. Now, somebody just said magnetic board. Yes. I didn't know that. So Eric Rady's not involved. Okay, that's fair. I mean, whatever he did for the game, it's great. A sequel. Oh my God, that would be great if they extended the map. My God, I'm in. I mean, Sean, if you're watching, well, there's a lot of us that are into that. A magnetic board isn't a bad idea, but I think cost effective. I don't know how crazy that would cost. I would pay more. Sean, could be an upgrade. More mission books. I wrote a mission that I will publish, maybe on Board Game Geek, that involves a vampire lord that I've been wanting to. Copyright issues? Well, no, I think they own the game. They are their own company, so I don't think there would be. So anybody watching involved in the game, Ruth's a publisher. Yep. She publishes books. Yeah, oh yeah, I would love to have a collected hardcover. I would pay a nice penny for that too. Just because the lore of the game really is that fantastic. And I'll show you the style of the lore books. They're not fancy. Oh wow, this one has the actual map in it in the middle. Some of them are like, there's like writing and little things, and then some of them have like this. Oh wait, hold on. Some of them are more like this. Well, they're literally like a monster manual. And they tell you about the monster. That's a harpy. The ladyfish. Wow, what is that? Oh, here's the Scroglin King. I killed him one time. One time, the Scroglin King hired us to do an assassination, and we went and killed the guy, and then we went back and killed the Scroglin King. Yeah. I could do that. Yeah. That's possible. But I would like a big hardback book of this. Or a small hardback book, or whatever it is. Now, the other thing Sean does is he does this. Diversed. Diversed is the official fanzine for Dungeon D. And it also did something new. It brings into play role-playing game ideas. Now, there's a little thing that came out last year. I was one of the play testers for. It's called... Oh, God, this camera sucks. Let's put it down here. Now this, what I'm going to show you, it's called Grime and Gold at the Ghost Gates. And if you look, it's a dungeon crawl adventure module. And what this is crazy. They took a part of the map, one part of the map, and made it have another dungeon in it that's explorable, and it's kind of like a choose your own adventure. And that's just one little dot on the entire map. You could do that with every dot. It's endless. The way to expand upon this game seems simple and endless. It really does. It doesn't seem too complicated on how to introduce new things because the mechanic of the game allows for it. It's very loose. I love it. That's why I like the game. It doesn't feel... I have another game that I played for about 3 years called Shadows of Brimstone. It's another solo game you can play alone. It felt repetitive. It felt not like a map that I could explore indefinitely. It felt very kind of like I'm on a track and I only get to see what you want me to see. Where this version of the game, where it's an open sandbox, I can see whatever I want. More cards and missions. Yeah, I mean, that's it. The missions are easy. You can write them out and use all the old cards in them. When you play a mission, it'll say, pull out this card from the loot deck, pull out this card from the loot deck, and pull out this epic monster. So you do that, and now in the mission, that epic monster gets put a chip that represents him on the board, and those loot cards might be things that he's holding. You don't know yet, maybe. And there's a mission. Whilst that's going on, the Hand of Doom is doing his thing, ruining the world, and you are trying to stop the Hand of Doom, finish the mission, and take one of the towns and make it your town that you're in charge of. That's why this game is insane. Now, here's the thing about house rules. Since playing this game, I really haven't had any house rules. I don't need them. It seems the difficulty level is just fine. We don't do any weird re-rolls. None of that. It's kind of crazy. Here's what I'm going to do. There's a lot of people in here. I'm going to give away some stuff. Let's see. Let's count how many people. I'm going to do a basic count. Let's see. So 1, 2, 3. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right, there's about 15 or 20 in here. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to roll a D20 right now, and whoever gets that right now gets this patch sent to them in the mail free of charge. I need a D20. Here we go. I'm going to roll the D20. And then I am literally going to count to that number. And if there's somebody at that number, great. If not, I'm going to re-roll it again. Here it goes, folks. 11. Let's do it. Let's count down 11 and see who wins. The first one was Neon Lords. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Jason! Jason A. I believe it's you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Jason, you just won this patch. All you got to do is shoot me a message. It could be Instagram. It's Cardone Magic. Or you can CardoneTheMagician@yahoo.com. That's my email. Send me a message. This is you. Now, let's do the next person. All right, this is a metal Dungeon Degenerates badge. Official Goblinko Dungeon Degenerates metal badge. Let's see who gets it. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, and 4. 12! Wow. All right, let's see who this is. It's going to be easy to find because it's the guy after Jason. Okay. Fallon! You won it. I think Fallon's won stuff on here before. You have good luck on this show, Fallon. Dungeon Degenerates pin. Fallon, I have your address because you won stuff before, and yeah, I have your address. I've been to your house, actually, which is crazy. Fallon's won a couple of things on here, which is Fallon's been watching my show since the beginning. Fallon, shoot me a message, and here, this is an amazing badge. You're a Dungeon Degenerate now. Thank you. Anybody have questions? Because whatever you don't win, I'm going to go buy. I love it. Go to their website. Support these guys. Listen, I live my life DIY, punk rock to the day I die. I make and create all of my own things. I'm an independent artist, showman. That's how I make a living. When I see somebody like Sean Alberg and Katie Alberg, that's a family business, Goblinko. This is a labor of love and a family business. It's still very underground and very good and unique. And whenever I see someone pour their heart into something like this, I give them 100% support, especially if I actually like it. And as you can tell, I'm obsessed with this game. And so, yeah, that's what I have to say. So support them. I whenever I want to buy a present for somebody, I try to buy presents, gifts, off of companies like Goblinko or another mom and pop art business. And you know, the type of artists that I like, I call it working class artists. Working class artists create art that normal people can buy. And not only do they buy it, they actually like it. They don't like it because somebody else is collecting it. They like it because they actually like it. And they put it on their wall and they go, wow, I want to see this every day. I don't care about art dealer art where you hire somebody to tell you what's cool and then you buy it for investment purposes. I don't give a shit about that. That can all go away. Oh, here we go. Ryan, now we're going to get into some nitty gritty here. I'd love to set up a board long term, but one cat. Oh, yeah. Yes, the cat would be bad for this. Here's Ryan Potter. This is great. House rule. Oh, you take out the starting items from the loot deck. Okay. So the real rule that he's referring to, which I actually don't mind, it's a weird rule. Yes, you have starting items. So when you get your character card, you go, oh, okay. Let's see. Let me grab. Oh, here. Soldier of Fortune. His starting items. Bastard sword and a shoddy shield. So you go through the loot deck and you find it. If it's not there and somebody else has it, that's the way it goes. So then you get the value of it in gold. And that's how the game's normally played. I can see somebody not wanting to do that. I didn't mind that rule. I thought it was weird, but just the way it was. Yeah, I gave you a Dungeon Degenerate sticker, yeah. Yeah, Goblinko's really good for mail order. They send their stuff out quick. Miniature painting. People ask me all the time about my miniatures and how I paint them and what paints I use. I get asked all the time. I use Vallejo paints, but the really good paints, and I hate to say it, Games Workshop still makes the greatest paints of all time. I can't say enough. I hate what Games Workshop has become. Warhammer for me is gone. It got too corporate. When they went to the stock exchange, it started to... it lost the feeling this game has, which is that mom and pop, underground, sniffing glue and listening to heavy metal feeling that I really liked about the 80s. That's all gone. This has got it in there. Um, wait, hold on. I was going to show you something here. Hold on. All right, let's look at these minis. Listen, you see this? I don't know if you can see this. Warhammer, the company, Citadel Paints, they're called, they invented some type of shading stuff, a wash, that's unlike anyone I have ever seen. It really is great, and I've tried to find the knockoff versions of them, but they don't work the same. I mean, look at the backs of these things. Look at the back of his jacket. They do. Vallejos are good, yeah, but I'm telling you, it's the technical paints Citadel puts out. Not the regular paint, the technical paints. They make a fake blood in paint format that looks like real blood. They make really great, okay, P3 paints, they're great. Yeah, okay, they're fine too. Oh my God, Rogue Trader changed my life, Neon Lords. Now, I'm going to give a shout out to Neon Lords. Neon Lords just put out this. Another old school vibed game. Neon Lords of the Toxic Wasteland. It's an RPG. It's the old school Dungeons and Dragons style rules, like Dungeon Crawl Classic style. This is excellent. I can't wait to play it. I don't want to Dungeon Master this. I want to play it. I Dungeon Master all the time. I want to play this game, and I have somebody I think is going to run it. I have a friend that I think is going to do it. He also got the game. So, thank you, Amanda J. I like painting miniatures. The secret to painting miniatures is this. Do a little bit every day. And yes, there are tricks. And yes, if the miniatures are sculpted well, they're easier to paint. Because there's something there to paint. You know, when they're like not defined, then you have to define it. But when there's like an actual definition, it's easy. There are tricks. I learned how to do miniature painting by hanging out with other miniature painters. And speed paints. Yeah. I know they have some neat stuff now where, I mean, literally, so the Warhammer paints that are good, you can take a miniature, paint it white, and then just paint one of their washes on it, and that's it. It, like, literally makes it look like you did something to it. Detailed. All it's doing is shading and highlighting all in one swoop. It's easy. They've made it easier. Now, if you're good and you use those paints, it's even better. Tons of painting tutorials online. I might do one day, but I'm not set up to do it. I need to arrange the desk. And I need to fix my crazy... These camera problems are annoying. It's a never-ending battle. Not to get into my internet stuff, because if you watch my other show, you'll hear me talk about this a lot. But for you to see me, we're going through a Canon camera into Streamlabs, and then Streamlabs shoots it over to YouTube, and then it goes in reverse back to you. There's a lot of people involved. Yeah, to have a bunch. Yeah, you're right, Phasing Player. Have a bunch of minis to paint. I always tell people, if you do a little bit every day, that's the secret to learning everything hard. Magic tricks that are hard, miniature painting. Now, I used to paint miniatures. I mean, I started in the late 80s. I started getting better at it in the mid to late 90s. And then around 2010, I started slowing down. And from 2010 to about 2013 or 14 or 15, I was starting to slow down on my mini painting. And then I realized I needed glasses. I put on a pair of glasses in the drugstore and... Oh, yeah. Is that why there's a big delay? Oh, I don't know. Oh, yeah, that is why there's a big delay. Yeah. I put on glasses and I could see that I had fingerprints. And I was like, oh my God, I have fingerprints. I don't know where my glasses are right now, actually. When I saw that, I bought a pair of glasses, went home, and I started reading more and painting more miniatures again. So make sure your vision's good. Because all it does is you feel tired. If you need glasses, you might not realize it. You just feel tired. Put them on and you'll be like, I'm not tired anymore. It's kind of crazy. Now, I'll give a shout out to Dungeon Breakout. This was a new game that Goblinko put out using the same characters and theme. It is a beer and pretzels version of this. And when I mean beer and pretzels, I mean it's very easy. A little kid can play this. Now, a little kid can play this if you tell them what to do. And you let them have options by just asking them, would you like to be bold or cautious? Bold. Great. And then, you do all the work. Kids can play all of these games as long as the adult knows. Yes, there's a delay because of the amount of programs I'm running through. Oh, and they all cost money too. You have a magnifying. Yeah, you need a light. I don't use a magnifying glass, but I definitely use glasses. And I have a pair that are a little bit stronger than normal. Get card sleeves, folks. They're plastic card sleeves. I can't say enough about them. If you play as much as I do, you will eventually spill something on your games. When that happens, they are ruined. You can save them if you're doing that. The other thing about saving your games and keeping them nice is because gaming got so popular, games are valuable. Go look up right now what this costs on eBay. I think it's $3.50. Okay. Dungeon Breakout. I can't wait. I can't wait to play that again. I have only played this. So I play tested it when it came out 1,000,000 times. I haven't played this in a little while. I was playing it a bunch when it first came out. I'll bust it out again. I see. Depth perception with reading glasses. JC, do you wear glasses when you sculpt? I can't even fathom. I mean, I've never sculpted anything before. Except for like a missing arm or a little horn that might be broken off. I've done like repair sculpt, but not from scratch. I mean, yeah, JC Faircloud, literally my favorite miniature painter or sculptor. This line of miniatures has the prime real estate in my miniature setup, and will always will. And I hope that there are more miniatures coming out because I think I have them all. I have 3 left to paint. I don't know what else to say tonight other than I am very excited to go start this campaign up again. I think I'm going to do it old school. I'm going to set up a permanent board. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. I got to figure it out. I might do I wish there was a way to do the dry erase board thing. I'm curious. I never tried this. I have some ideas. Maybe there's a dry erase sticker that I can put on here and write on. Oh. Wow. What if there's a sticker system? I'm going to think about this. At any rate, I'm getting ready to start this world up again. I can't wait. I have a lot of friends that are interested in trying. I'm going to play alone, and when they show up, they jump in. I'll make them a character. And then when they leave, their character goes in an envelope. I put their gear in another envelope, and that's that. I see. Now, I'm curious, what do you think about digital sculpting? Because for me, anything digital, the flaw is this. And I'm sure you'll agree. When to quit. It seems to me like digital editing for music, which is what I'm familiar with, or like that kind of stuff, because it's digital, it's endless in possibilities. So therefore, it seems harder to know when to quit, And so I'm just curious, like when you're sculpting in line, like how do you know that it seems almost harder. I don't know. I'm curious. Because when you're doing it manually, you're so limited that's it, I'm curious. It's interesting. There's dry erase tape? Really? I'm writing that down. Dry erase stickers. I'm going to look this up. Dry erase and stickers. I'm going to look this up. I think it'll just make it easier to put away. Because I do have events here. People come through. I do magic shows here. It would be easier. You wanted Cave Evil. What's Cave Evil? I don't know what that is. Tell me. I like the name. Is that a game? Cave Evil? It's a cool name. You know what's nuts? Is I had all of those problems at the beginning of the show. And it works. It's back to normal. Look. I mean, I don't get this. I really don't. I think this is one of the best miniatures. This one here, I don't know if I can get a good close-up of this. Let's try. This miniature, I got the detail on the rats on this. Let's see if this camera does it. Sometimes this one's better. No. It's not going to... Oh, there it is. Did that do it? I don't know if you can see. This one, I got the rat's eyes to literally look like they're glowing. There she is. That is the Rat Queen. In all her glory. Yeah, I got the rat's eyes to glow. I don't know how I did it. I used I used one technical paint. I think it's like something for gems. Yeah, what is Cave Evil? I've never heard of it. Oh no, you're going to get me into something else I should not get into maybe. Cave Evil? Never heard of it. You know what I don't know? I don't know where my phone is. It's hilarious. Can't find anything. Wow. Dude, today was fun. Sorry for the technical problems at the beginning of the show. I'm probably going to do another episode eventually on Dungeon Degenerates. Honestly, I don't know what to say. It's my favorite board game. I've been playing... thank you very much, Ryan. I've been playing board games since I was a tiny kid. I started getting into the nerdy board games way back in the day. And when I was a little kid, the nerdy board games were expensive. They were. Dungeons and Dragons books cost more than any of the other books I liked. And so I got into these nerdy games and it never stopped. It became the only hobby I didn't really think of as a money-making thing. Like, for me, Magic was, hey, oh, this is interesting. I don't know. I got into board games. I started collecting board games, and I've been in constant search for the greatest ones, and I found them. JC wrote, I just kind of do what I did traditionally. Okay. All right, so you're just trying to keep it the same. It's just now. It took a while to get the hang of. It probably would have been harder if I hadn't spent so long sculpting properly. Oh, right. So you're starting with the real, which is why you're already in. I see. Yeah. Oh. Yes, I've heard of Mork Borg. I've heard of that one. Yes. Yeah, Hero Quest. I remember Hero Quest. I don't have a copy. That's one of the ones I never owned. I've played it at other people's houses. Wow. I mean, my favorite solo game of all time is this. I do like the new Hellboy game, and I do like the new Rambo game. They're both solo. They're both... I'm into the solo games. I like group games. I mean, I have tons of those. But if you're a game nerd, you know it's hard to find players sometimes. Especially ones that want to spend 3 hours on a game. Now, this game here, you don't need 3 hours. You could do 1 hour, half an hour, 10 minutes, or 4 hours. I think the longest I've played this is 4 hours. Wow. Oh, yeah, Hero Quest just got a reprint. Yeah, I've heard this. I want to look up Cave Evil. I'm curious of what that is. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I'm curious. Well, folks, I'm going to go eat and hang out and look at all my junk. I might start to like piece together this campaign. So I'd like to thank each and every one of you watching tonight. If you're into donating, hey, this show, I don't need donations. I need likes. I need subscribers. If you want to like and subscribe, by golly, please do. That's the least you can do. If you're the donating type, hey, that's good too. Wait, did I get a donation tonight? I think Fallon donated tonight. It didn't trigger a thing because I don't have it set up. My bots are all messed up. Fallon, thank you very, very much. Anybody in here that donates, I thank you. It goes right into the show. I mean, I do this full time. The least you can do is hit subscribe. I'm trying to just get to 900. And dude, they really do shadow ban you. Chainsaw Warrior, yes. I remember that game. I don't own that one either. Thank you, Ruth. Ruth, your Easter cookies were the best I've ever seen. I swear. I mean, really, just blew my head off. Very beautiful, the colors and everything. Oh, wow. I'm going to go look up Cave Evil, actually, right now. Folks, my name is Cardone. This is Boardgasm. Episode 12. If you stick around on this channel and subscribe, you'll see. Evening Hour is the show that's up to 119, and I love that show. That's where we get into nitty-gritty and go into philosophy and talk about everything there is to talk about. We'll go from Nietzsche to Pez to the circus to nerdy things like board games and genre films. So, now, and the overlying through line is usually some sort of philosophy stuff. So, if you like that, please subscribe. It never gets boring here, and I try to make the content mean something. Yeah. Folks, thank you. Sorry for the technical problems, and yeah. Guys, get your friends to subscribe. Thank you, Ruth. You rule. It's very hard to get subscribers. Really, they shadow ban you. If you're on YouTube, they do not like people like me. They actually hate people like me. They like corporate media now. Corporate media. Folks, I'm going to give a rant here. Do you know who owns Google? Google has got a parent company called Alphabet Inc. Inc. Yeah. Do you know who Alphabet Inc. is? Oh, they have shareholders, and they have one primary shareholder. One guy you never heard of before, also richer than God. All of these channels have these things going on at such a high level now. They don't like people like me. They use us to get YouTube off the ground. That's why it's called YouTube. It's not called Corporate Tube. It's called YouTube. But now that it's off the ground, guess what? They don't need us. They want the corporate people in there running their stuff. So people like me are shadow banned until you get to a certain number, and then maybe they'll let you in to their anointed club. So please subscribe, tell your friends, let's hustle this, and let's show the world that the weirdos have a voice too, especially the game weirdos. I'm going to take us out with my Boardgasm trailer and then some. Folks, party on, and you're watching Boardgasm episode 12. Over and out. Hey, what's up? If you like board games, miniatures, and the smell of paint and glue, you are in the right place. Welcome to Boardgasm.